In the ancient kingdom of Aramesh, where marble palaces rose above sun-washed courtyards and the scent of saffron drifted through the air, King Artaban ruled with a calm and steady hand. His people loved him, not because he was powerful, but because he was fair. Yet even the most peaceful kingdoms cast long shadows, and in one of those shadows stood his minister, Soham. Soham had spent years rising through the ranks of the palace. He had a sharp mind, a sharper tongue, and a talent for appearing loyal while hiding his own ambitions. But age had begun to creep into his face, and the king's young advisor, Nair, had recently earned Artaban's trust in a way that made Soham feel replaceable. And nothing terrified Soham more than becoming invisible. One cool evening, as the palace lamps flickered against the stone walls, Soham stood by a tall window overlooking the training grounds. There, Nair practiced archery with a handful of soldiers. His movements were smooth, his attitude humble, qualities that only deepened the minister's bitterness. Artaban favors him, Soham whispered to himself, his voice thin with envy. And once Nair's influence grows, the king will no longer need me. His fingers tightened on the window frame. A decision was forming, a dangerous one. The very next morning, Soham walked through the corridors with a small bundle of parchment hidden beneath his cloak. Each scroll was covered with careful handwriting, smears of ink, and perfectly crafted lies. He planned to plant these forged messages where the king would find them, messages that suggested Nair was secretly contacting foreign powers. An imagined betrayal, a planted conspiracy, a threat that never existed. If the king believed it, Soham's position would be safe, and Nair would be ruined. He quietly slipped into the Hall of Records, where documents of the kingdom were stored. Only a few scribes worked there, and they barely noticed him. He pretended to browse the shelves, then tucked the forged scrolls among the classified correspondence from northern traders. Soon, he murmured, the king will connect these pieces, and Nair will fall. But shadows have a way of watching those who create them. As Soham left the hall, a figure stepped out from a pillar, Nair himself. He had come to check a shipment record and had heard the faint rustle of Soham's cloak and the soft thud of hidden parchment sliding into place. Nair didn't confront him. Not yet. He simply followed him with quiet eyes, the way a hunter learns the rhythm of a dangerous animal. Later that afternoon, Nair visited the king. Artaban sat beneath the great skylight, where sunlight poured down like liquid gold. Your Majesty, Nair said gently, may I ask a question? Artaban smiled. You may ask 100. Do you believe, Nair began cautiously, that loyalty should be proven only through words, or through consistent action? Artaban tilted his head. Action, of course. Words bend easily. Why do you ask? Instead of answering directly, Nair reached into his satchel and placed a set of documents on the king's desk. These, he said, are records I found stored among messages from the northern provinces. They contain accusations of treachery involving me. Artaban frowned and lifted one of the scrolls. The style of writing was familiar, too familiar. Where did you find these? In the Hall of Records, Nair replied simply. Who led you there? No one led me, Nair said. But someone left them. The king's eyes narrowed with understanding. Artaban never believed accusations at first glance. This was one of the reasons his kingdom prospered. And so, instead of reacting with anger, he decided to observe. Quietly, carefully. That evening, he summoned Soham. The minister entered with a graceful bow. You called for me, my king? Yes, Artaban said calmly. I need your advice. I have received troubling documents from the northern provinces. They suggest treachery inside the palace. Soham's heart leaped. So far, the plan was unfolding. That is, terrible news indeed, he said, lowering his eyes in practiced sorrow. Your Majesty must act swiftly. The trail spreads like fire. Artaban watched him. And whom? The king asked softly, do these messages accuse? Soham paused, only for a heartbeat, but it was long enough for Artaban to notice the flicker of triumph crossing the minister's face. I do not know, Soham replied carefully, but such messages must be examined. Perhaps you should search the quarters of those newly risen to your favor. Young advisors are not always steady. Artavan leaned back. His voice remained gentle. Curious suggestion, he said, especially since the messages were found in a place where only a few people have access. Soham stiffened. And one of those people, Artavan continued, is you. Soham opened his mouth to speak, but no words came out. His throat felt dry, his chest tight. Somehow, the king had discovered the trap. He glanced around the room. He looked at the guards. He looked at Nair standing in the corner, silent but steady. Cornered. Exposed. His entire scheme had folded like paper. But Artavan did something unexpected. He dismissed the guards with a wave of his hand. Soham, he said quietly, you have served this kingdom for many years. You could have built trust, legacy, and honor. Instead, you chose suspicion and fear. Tell me why. The question broke something inside the old minister. His anger spilled into trembling words. Because you no longer needed me. Because you preferred him. He pointed at Nair. I was once the mind behind your decisions. Now I am a shadow. Artavan studied him for a long moment. Power, he said softly, is not lost when shared. Only those who clutch it tightly become prisoners of their own fear. Soham swallowed, ashamed and exhausted. In that moment, the throne room felt colder than any winter. The king continued, I will not throw you into prison, but your position as minister is to be surrendered. You will leave the palace tonight, and you will reflect on the weight of the shadows you tried to cast. Soham bowed his head. For the first time in years, he felt truly small. He left the palace without protest, disappearing into the dark streets where ambition had no audience. Weeks passed. The kingdom adjusted quickly, peace returned, routines resumed, and Nair stepped fully into the role of the king's trusted advisor. But Nair did not celebrate Soham's downfall. Sometimes, as he walked through the palace gardens, he thought about how easily clever minds can twist under the pressure of fear. One night, he asked Artavan, do you ever regret sparing him? The king smiled, a tired but warm smile. My duty, he said, is to protect the kingdom, not punish every flaw within it. Soham fell into his own shadow. That was punishment enough. Nair looked up at the moonlit sky. Will he return someday? He asked. Perhaps, Artavan said. People can change, if they truly wish to. But trust, once broken, cannot be restored by returning, only by transforming. Nair nodded, understanding the lesson completely. And so the kingdom of Aramesh continued, guided not by fear, but by wisdom. And though the shadows still stretched across its marble halls, the people who walked there had learned one simple truth. A person who seeks power through deceit becomes the prisoner of their own darkness. But one who walks with honesty becomes a lantern for others. And in that lantern's glow, no shadow can survive.